my God! Chef Pharaoh here, and today we're gonna throw down some braised boneless beef short rib. And this is a cut of meat that's actually really inexpensive. Anyone can make it. It gets knocked that it's not a tender cut. I'm gonna show you how it's gonna come out tender and delicious. Watch this. So what you're first gonna want to do is pat the steak dry, so that when we put the salt and pepper on it and we sear it, it will form a very nice crust. So you're just gonna wanna pat them all dry as such, and then simply throw on the salt. And you wanna be very generous with the salt. It's a very fatty piece of meat, so the more the salt, the better. Who doesn't like salt? So we're gonna put that on all of them. And you're gonna go ahead and put the salt on all sides, so I'll flip it in a second. But before you flip it, a little pepper doesn't hurt either. So you wanna put as much as you want there, and flavor to your choice. And then flip. So they've been sitting about an hour in room temperature. Now it's important to sear them. What you're gonna wanna do, turn the oven on to high heat, and make sure you put in some olive oil into the pan. And don't put the steak in, the pieces of meat in, until you see it starting to smoke. About 3 minutes, and then I'll throw them in. I'm starting to see smoke. Now I'm gonna turn the stovetop down to about a medium heat, and it's time to throw in the meat. And if it's hot, you should hear it sizzle. Let's find out. That's the sound we wanna hear. Perfect. So we're gonna sear each and every side for about 1 minute, and each side we're gonna flip it and even do the small narrow ones as well. About 3-4 minutes in total, 1 minute each side, and it'll come out perfectly. It's been a minute, now it's time to flip these beautiful, beautiful pieces of meat. And that's the sear we're talking about. Check that out. Perfectly seared to perfection, exactly how we want it to look. Yum. So I just cut a piece of garlic in half. Don't worry about peeling it and making it all cute. Cut it in half and throw it right into that beautiful steak. It's gonna add amazing and gorgeous flavoring into the meat. Now that we've seared each side for about a minute and it absorbed that beautiful garlic taste, let's pull the pieces of meat out, and then we're gonna make a delicious sauce with the fat and the garlic and juices from this pot. So the crucial part to making it tender is braising it. So you're gonna wanna cut up some veggies. My favorite two are onions and carrots. And it doesn't really matter how you cut them. Some people want them thin, some people, man, I cut them into chunks because we're not gonna eat them. This is just gonna simply braise it. And we're gonna go ahead, cut up the onions, cut up the carrots, throw them in, caramelize them, and we're gonna be so close to a perfect dish. So I now cut up the onions and carrots. And here's the thing, some people want to use a different pot, some people want to use this, some people want to use that. I'm going to use the same pot that I seared the meat in, so that it cooks in the fat of the meat with that beautiful garlic roasted. And just simply put the onions and carrots in, and we're going to wait until they caramelize before we do anything else. As it's beginning to caramelize, I have to show you guys this. Look at the garlic. The flavoring inside this pot right now is absolutely incredible. Amazing. So now that the carrots and onions have caramelized, what you're gonna do is put a small can of tomato paste and add delicious, delicious flavor. About 6 ounces. And then about a cup of beef broth. It's gonna be so good. Give it a little bit of a love tap. You're cooking this on medium heat, almost medium high heat. It's gonna add amazing, amazing flavor. And here's a little secret recipe, secret tip, what I love to add. And it doesn't have to be expensive. It does not have to be expensive, but red wine does a magical, magical touch to the braising process. I'm gonna put about, hey, 1 cup, 2 cups, a little generosity, you know, nobody's looking, but adds a little bit of flavor. And then here's the key thing. there's alcohol now added to the pot. So you're gonna want it to come up to to a boil so that it renders down and the taste of the alcohol leaves, but the taste of the wine stays. It's gonna be absolutely delicious. So now we're gonna watch it to come up to a boil. We'll know it's rendered, and then the meat goes in and we throw it into the oven. So as you could see, it's starting to boil. So all that flavor of alcohol is rendered away, and now we got this delicious sauce. So what's next is my favorite part. Time to throw in the meat, and then we're gonna throw it into the oven at 325 degrees for about 2 hours, 2 and a half. And every now and then, about every 30 minutes, I'm gonna open it up and baste it to make sure that sauce is getting all over the meat. I'll see you then. Now it's time to cover them up. Turn the oven to 325. Make sure you move your racks accordingly so it fits. And we're gonna leave it in there for about 2.5 hours. And even my dog is excited to try this out. I can't blame him. What's up, little man? You wanna see what I'm making as a side dish? It's time to put a side with the beautiful beef boneless ribs. So guess what I'm gonna do? Potato, but not any potato. Yukon Gold potatoes. Small potatoes, cut them in half, and then I call this the Pharaoh bag of goodness because it makes my job easy. Don't have to get my hands dirty. We're gonna cut up a bunch of potatoes, put some olive oil, pepper, salt, and I call it the flavor enhancer, oregano. And this is why I love this bag so much. Don't gotta get the hands dirty. Just shake. And then, gonna lay them on this beautiful pan and cook them in the oven at 325 for about 30 to 45 minutes or until they're beautiful and brown. So it's been about 2 hours. Moment of truth. Here we go. Oh my goodness, that looks amazing. It should be so tender. Let's find it. Oh, look, look, look. Look at that. If it's that tender, you know you cooked it to perfection. Oh yeah, let's take them out. So I'm gonna take these out and let them rest for a little bit. Oh my goodness, if you could just smell it and see how tender these are. It's absolutely amazing. Gonna leave them to rest for about 10 minutes, and then they're gonna be ready to smash and eat and enjoy. Oh, look how amazing this looks. Yum. Man, it smells amazing. Can't wait. Now that I pulled out the boneless ribs, it's time to strain the sauce. And my favorite part, plate it, then eat it. As you can see, I'm straining out the beautiful sauce so that there's no junk left, but delicious flavoring that I'm gonna top off the boneless ribs with. The potatoes are done, the boneless ribs are done. Now it's time to plate them. It's gonna be absolutely delicious. Oh man, if you guys could just smell this aroma, it's unbelievable. And this is such a beautiful piece of meat that they deserve to be sauced individually, as you can see here, with the sauce that we rendered down and strained and drained. Oh my gosh. And all that's left is to garnish it with a little bit of cilantro. Bon appetit. That's what we call a boneless beef short rib with potatoes by your boy, Chef Pharaoh. Thanks for watching. All right, the moment of truth. I'm gonna use a spoon to cut it. Beef boneless short rib isn't supposed to cut with a spoon. It's too rough. Let's find out. Oh my goodness. This is with a spoon, guys. With a spoon. Look at this. Look how tender and juicy. I have to use my hands. I'm sorry, guys. Oh my God. That's the best freaking restaurant style steak that you could make at your home with a boneless short rib. Boneless short rib. No filet mignon, no New York strip. Boneless short rib.